Welcome, Case.
Oh, thank you. And welcome to you as well.
It's always fun when I get to do this show with you, but you know, we've had a couple visitors, so it's been a while since it's just been you and me, and so we had a pretty wild weekend.
We did. We certainly
busy
did. We got to go over to York College.
Yes.
And the Alumni Association put on our annual holiday party for our children.
I love that event.
Yeah.
First of all, we don't have to do anything. They do all the work. Secondly, we get a great turkey dinner. Mm-hmm. But most importantly, the children just have such a good time and they smile, and you know, you just know that their holidays are going to be a little difficult this year, but this makes it all worthwhile.
I think it's really special that the alumni are given lists by the children, wish lists, and then they get to go out and purchase items for the kids that they get to open that day. And we're not talking like little, sticker books.
We're talking nice gifts. Yeah, $100 worth of gifts. Yeah. Which I think is interesting. You got to do that this year for a child because your fiance is an alumni.
Absolutely, we did. Mm-hmm. We had quite a bit of fun doing that. So.
Did you?
Yeah. But speaking of the little guys, I wanted to talk. The other thing that's been a kind of a hectic around here right now is we're finishing up the renovations of our sand and water room.
We are. That's been wild.
Yeah.
A lot of work went into the sand and water room originally. We actually won an award for the Make a Difference Day 10 years ago, and the Dean Gardner family was responsible for that and the award, but it just needed a little facelift.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know what the sand and water room is, it's kind of our indestructible room.
It is.
I would say for our little guys, our little ones program, more the 3 to 5 year olds. Right. But we have sand trays down in the basement, and so that the little guys can do miniature play and do some. They
learn the concepts of burying by putting. We put little treasures in the sand and they uncover them, and we talk about what is a treasure. A memory is a treasure, and why do we bury things, and we kind of can give them some seeds of education with regards to the sand trays. So that's really nice. Yeah. Plus they have the concept of good and evil they play with at this age, and there's a lot of fun play with miniatures that comes out.
We work pretty closely with a couple play therapists in designing that space.
In designing it. And Betty Jackson, who is in the area, came and did an in-service for us many years ago, and she is wonderful when it comes to sand tray work. So we don't expect our volunteers to be experts in sand tray, but we certainly give them an education so that they understand why a 3-year-old is doing what they're doing in a sand tray, and why a 5-year-old understands good versus evil, and oftentimes the good guys win over the bad guys in sand tray play.
Well, I think any tool we can have here at Olivia's house that gives children the opportunity to work through their feelings is just so important. And the sand and water room was important then, but it was just missing a few little components, the miniatures being displayed, and it just feeling safe and warm down there. So when our friends at A Little Hope Foundation made it possible for us to do that.
That was a gift. That was a true gift. And we really were kind of like, we don't want to tackle another construction after the confessional, but it was a wonderfully easy construction because we used a program family contractor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he did a great job. And I think it's because he loves Olivia's house. His family came through here after the death of their son, Brad. And I can't say enough about Ed Keeney and his work. If you ever need a contractor, boy, Ed Keeney's the guy to go to. And he made construction an easy task, which is unusual. Mm-hmm. So we want to thank him, and we want to thank A Little Hope for the funds to make that happen.
Yeah. Well, it's now a special place, and
it really is.
We had our production coordinator, our on-site artist, help us pick out colors and tones and feelings and design it. So it's a new room. So we hope maybe you'll be able to come down and check that out at some point. We have our holiday open house actually this Wednesday. Right. So if you're coming in on Wednesday, you'll get to see it then.
Yeah, I hope if you have time and you're in the area, you'll stop by for cookie and a cup of hot tea and just visit with us a little. And it's a fun time for us to get to see everybody and kind of take a breather from our desks and all the work that's pretty hectic around the Grief Center at the holidays. But that is on Wednesday from 11 to 1. And we just want to extend holiday wishes to everybody if you can't make the open house.
And last but not least, our development director, good old Jim, told me on my way up here, make sure to remind everyone that we made it to round 2 of the York Daily Record Vote to Give campaign. So we're in the running now for
we need your help.
The $10,000 advertising grant. So you can go on to YDR's Facebook page and vote for Olivia's house, and hopefully we'll end being number one.
I hope on Christmas Day we find out we received that grant. I have to say, if you already voted, spread the word out to all of your friends on Facebook and let them know. Hopefully with all of our friends across the country at the different grief centers, we will have the support of all of those grief centers, because it's going to take a lot of votes to actually win this thing. It really is.
And if you voted in round 1, you can now vote again in round 2. So.
Yeah. We've got some real competition. Some of the organizations are going all out. So, you know, not to be outdone, we're going to try to go all out too, because it's that important.
And listen, I know some folks have been talking smack. So, you know, we're hoping our Olivia's House crew can jump.
Yeah, we are really a strong organization when it comes to getting things done. So if it's meant to be, it'll be. You know, that's how I look at it. So, yeah.
Well, we hope to see you all this week.
Yeah, if one more show before the end of the year.
Absolutely.
And then we will bid 2011 goodbye and hello to 2012.
Yeah. Maybe in our next week's episode we can do a recap of the best things of 2011.
I like that. The 5 best things of 2011.
Yeah. Your list and my list.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to do that.
Good.
Sounds like a good deal.
We'll see everyone next week.
Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.